Travels by Broomstick comes to you from South Wales, the land of the dragon. Oh, and sheep. We got lots of sheep. Welcome to all you good people out there in podcast land. So, let's get the broomstick out the garage, and off we go.
The whispers of witches can be heard as the wind blows through the trees, and the ghostly apparition of the accused women who wade woefully in the waters.
Today's journey takes us to Pwll-y-wrach Nature Reserve in Talgarth, Mid Wales, UK.
Talgarth is a market town that is situated 12 miles north of Cwm, 19 miles northeast of Brecon and 15 miles southeast of Builth Wells. Talgarth was once the capital of the early medieval kingdom of River Ennig, and this is where our adventures begin.
Talgarth Town Hall is a Grade II listed building, which was completed in 1878 by James Webb of Hay-on-Wye, using rubble masonry. The town hall has a memorial clock tower and is situated in the town centre. Also on the town square is the Tourist Information Centre. The present building was built around the 18th century but may incorporate a 14th century defensive tower. The tower was once used as a prison or a lockup.
Talgarth Mill is an 18th century water mill with a beautiful bakery, cafe and craft shop. Talgarth Mill was grinding corn for local farmers until it fell into disrepair in the 1940s.
Talgarth Mill is a Grade II listed building.
It is the only working water mill in River Ennig National Park. You can take a tour of the mill and even buy wholemeal flour produced directly by the mill and its millstone, which is made from French burr stone that grinds the grain. After visiting the mill, we stopped at Parry's ice cream parlour, where we had the most delicious Turkish Delight ice cream as we walked around this lovely market town in the sunshine. Whilst looking at the map at the Talgarth Town Hall, we spotted the Pwll-y-wrach Nature Reserve, an ancient woodland and site of scientific interest. We decided to see if we could walk with the witches as we discover the wonderful waterfall in the woodlands. Pwll-y-wrach is Welsh for Pool of the Witch. Local legend suggests the witches may have been dunked in this pool in medieval times. Witch dunking was widely practiced as a test for witchcraft and simultaneously a form of public torture, humiliation, and sometimes publicly sanctioned murder without trial.
The way to the witch's pool is a 1 metre wide rough stone surface path with other pathways that branch off through the woodlands that are unsurfaced natural woodland trails with steps that ascend to the top of the waterfall. The 17.5 hectares of woodland is made up of mostly ash and oak trees and supports a unique community of diverse wildlife. The woodland habitat is home to birds, bats, badgers, squirrels, otters and dormice.
The River Ennig plunges to create a spectacular waterfall into a dark pool below. This is the Witch's Pool, from which the Pwll-y-wrach Nature Reserve gets its name. This beautiful and mysterious ancient woodland is home to the spirits of the women accused of witchcraft. They are said to wade woefully through these dark waters. Their whispers can be heard in the wind as the woodland creaks and cracks, and the leaves on the trees rustle. It is said that those who walk towards these spectral witches befall the same treatment as the witches themselves, being plunged into the cold water and held under, reenacting the dunking they once received. Dunking witches was a test for witchcraft, but it was a no-win situation for the poor suspected person who was being accused. If they were to drown, they would be deemed innocent, but if they were to float and lived, they were proved to be guilty of witchcraft and put to death by hanging or being burned at the stake. The Welsh word gwrach means witch, and there are references to this in other place names around the Brecon beacons, besides this witch's pool. These are Cwm Pwll-y-wrach, which translates to Valley of the Witches, and Blaengrach, which translates to Witch's Point. These place names could imply that witches and witchcraft have been part of the area's history for many years. Indeed, witchcraft in Wales was common, and there were many superstitious beliefs and rituals involved in everyday life. Witchcraft accusations, trials and executions were significantly fewer in number than those in England, Scotland and other parts of Europe, with only 37 prosecutions in Wales during this time period, the time between the 16th and 18th century. Most of the people accused of witchcraft in Wales were acquitted. Only 8 people were found guilty of witchcraft, and of these 8 people, only 5 people were executed in Wales, compared to around 1,000 in England and 4,000 in Scotland. In 1594, Cwm Pwll-y-wrach of Llandurnog, Denbighshire, was the first person to be executed as a witch in Wales. In 1622 in Carnarvon, 3 people, all from the same family, were found guilty of witchcraft and ultimately executed. These were Lawri ferch Evan, Agnes ferch Evan, and Rydderch ap Evan, a yeoman. In 1655, in Beaumaris in Anglesey, Margaret ferch Richard was accused of witchcraft and sentenced to death by hanging in accordance with the 1604 Witchcraft Act.
The fact that so few people were accused of witchcraft in Wales
Could be due to the fact that very few witch finders, witch examiners and judges actually spoke Welsh, causing a huge language barrier. Wales was also still very reliant on wise or cunning women in the local rural community at the time, seeking health advice, cures and divination as part of their everyday lives. The people of Wales preferred to put the blame on the mischievous fairy folk, the Tylwyth Teg, rather than blame witches for illness, crop failure, livestock dying or things going missing. But we will go into that more in a future episode about the fairy folk of Wales. We walked back through the beautiful woodlands after enjoying our witchy wander. So how many brooms do you give the Pwll-y-wrach Nature Reserve?
Well, I'm going to give it 4.5 brooms.
Did you see the witches of the pool?
Of course I did. I saw your reflection.
Oh, that is very spooky. What was your favourite part of the nature reserve?
Oh, the waterfall. And the little dormices. How about you?
Yeah, I thought the waterfall was absolutely spectacular.
And you like the dormices?
I did like the dormices. They were very cute.
Dormice.
The dormice. Yes, the dormice. I also like the strange looking tuthwort plants that were on the base of the hazel trees. Doesn't tuthwort sound like a very witchy potion? Sort of eye of newt and tuthwort and
Wing of bat.
wing of bat and hocus pocus and all of that.
It does. It probably is.
Yeah, apparently they lack chlorophyll? No, they don't. They lack chlorophyll and they're parasitic on trees. But there you go. You learn something new. Every time we go places, I always learn something new.
I get paralytic now and again.
Is that because of all of the witch's brew, is it?
Something like that. Well, that concludes our adventures at the Witch's Pool. We hope you've had a magical time.